Starting. There we go. There we go. Hey, everyone. This is Astronomy Daily Live, and it's 2 hours UTC over here in southeastern Arizona in the United States, always on Mountain Standard Time, which means I'm always 7 hours behind UTC time. So 2 hours UTC on the, what's that going to be? The 13th of November, at least where I'm located, is actually 7 p.m. And here we got some folks popping up in on the panel. Hey there, Tom. Nice to see you.
Hey, Cosmic. How you doing?
Doing really well. Doing really well. And Bobby just popped in too. Hey there, Bobby.
Hey, what's up? I'm just getting done with IBC Digital and saving a text file and stuff.
Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, so I stayed home and did some homework today, as I call it. Just, various tasks that have to be done at home. And actually, one of them was pulling out this PA that I've had for a number of years. It's I think it's a 250 watt amplifier, and it's got 8 channels. And the last time I used it was several years ago, when I think I was using channel 1, and with this board. Now, one of the problems with playing these kinds of boards is that it's actually really easy to zap or blow up these things, or much more often actually to blow out the speakers. Right, the speakers can just blow them up. I think this is the second set of tweeters that I had in there. so yeah, it can be damaging. So, but the last time I used it, somehow I decided that all the channels were bad, and so I just put it away. And like, well, I know the channel 1 is bad. I need to look at the rest of them, and that was several years ago. So I'm like, well, I should definitely check this thing out. So I pulled them out and, dusted them off a little bit, and turned them on, hooked them up, and yeah, actually, at least the channels that I've checked, they are working. So yeah, I've been shaking the house here most of the afternoon with this thing. It's got a 15-inch speaker on the bottom, and then the tweeter is I don't know, maybe about that big, maybe like, I don't know, 8 by 4 inches. Kind of a big tweeter too. So but yeah. So that's what I did. Now, of course, the problem now is that I know that this works, and I know that it has a fantastic sound. So I'm gonna want to start using this on our gigs, and it's just more stuff that I have to lug around. So, oh well. So yeah, that's been a little bit fun today. So come on in, everyone. I'm just checking the chat here. 9-inch Colas, hey there, nice to see you. Yeah, I'm pretty good at blowing out speakers and stuff with this board. It just Sometimes it happens, right? You just get carried away, and all of a sudden, you know, there's a little rip, or at least in case of the PA, I blew out a whole channel. So, so yeah, those kinds of things happen.
And how old is that system?
How old is it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's a crate. So you know, it's a pretty good system. It actually comes with two cabinets. So this is just one. So I guess technically speaking, I can have a left and a right. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, and it's you know, that size of speaker and that much power. As I said, I think it's 250. I think, which is a lot, which is a lot. So yeah, you know, really easy to shake the house and probably shake the ground outside and everything. So, but you know, no neighbors, so doesn't matter. Nobody hears it except us. So that's very cool. Let's see. So I noticed in the Discord server that Tom had posted a link to a paper, something about. I'm going to go over here and look. Something about dark matter. Tom, do you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, I could do a little bit. I just found it about an hour or so ago, so I didn't read the whole paper in detail, but I saw this article about a dark matter hurricane that is storming past the Earth, and it caught my interest. What it says is that when dwarf galaxies get too close to the Milky Way, they can be basically torn apart, and their stars, gas, and all that stuff in them pulled into the Milky Way, and then those things form what they're calling these streams. And this one is the S1 stream they're talking about, but I didn't even realize that there were these things called streams, and I guess they said there's roughly 30 of those they've identified in the galaxy, so 30 smaller galaxies that have gotten too close and pulled in, and now they've got the stream of matter going for each of the streams that goes in a specific direction. And
Cool.
they said within those streams, there's lots of dark matter. What did they say? Predicted to be blowing the dark matter past us at 310 miles per second. So that seems pretty fast. They also said that there are detectors for WIMPs, the weakly interacting massive particles, that they expect a spike to be seen when these streams encounter those detectors. See if there was anything.
Pretty cool. I've got a battle here ensuing.
I didn't read too much of the paper. I did read the abstract.
So, what kind of material is in these streamers? Is it stars, or is it like gas and dust? And
they said it was. I believe they said it was a combination of stars, gas, dust, and dark matter.
okay, and are they using like Gaia data or something to?
Yeah, this is. They spotted this with the Gaia telescope.
Wow, yeah, it's so amazing. What we can do with basically such a small amount of information, right? I mean, what they're looking at primarily with those probably is proper motion, right? Just how they're moving in the sky. And with that little tiny bit of information, you know, they can extrapolate and infer a little bit and come up with these really cool um, um, observations, right? Based on real data, which is just measuring the positions of stars over time. That's all they're doing, right? So it's very cool, very cool.
Yeah,
And
and
what's also good about it is you don't have to pay $65 for it since you like the Rent the Archive one.
Don't get me started with that. Don't
Okay,
don't get
there's
me started with that.
Anna and Tim Robinson. How the bloody hell are you, Tim Robinson?
Hey,
What's
you
up,
guys.
lovely Automata? And Uncle Bill says, streams reminds me of Oswald's story, Currents of Space.
What's that?
Check the chat.
Streams remind me of Asimov story Currents of Space. Yeah. Uncle Bill, I'm gonna hang my head in shame. I've never read Currents of Space. That's what it's called? Oh, I've got a battle here. I've got a battle going. I think I need.
Started with cat fights.
Yeah, I think I need to, go do my duty here. But it's called Currents of Space. Okay, I'm going to save that because I'm going to look at that later. Oh, come on. All right, hold on one sec. I'm going to rectify this situation here.
All right.
Okay. All right. Now peace will come. Okay, so I've got a link to it here. So cool. Okay, I've never heard of that one. So yeah, but
Did you get Tim Robinson as well?
I did. Hey there, Tim. And Atta is back. I think it looks
Not
like.
back, but she's still trapping and stuff. She's getting closer though.
Cool. Okay, yeah, not home yet, but will be soon. Nice. Tim, always awesome to see you in the chat there. Uncle Bill. Yeah, so I guess what not quite sure where dark matter comes into this. What's the tie-in there?
well, I think the tie-in is that as these dwarf galaxies, these smaller galaxies, get too close, the stars and gas, dust, and dark matter from them get pulled in, and they're all traveling in that same direction based on the velocity and all that. So, I mean, I think the tie-in is that this may give them some more data on detecting dark matter.
I got you right, because if it's WIMPs that is this dark matter, then yeah, there may be a concentration of them, and therefore a higher chance. Okay.
Yeah, I think they said they might expect something along about a 10% increase in WIMP detection.
Wow. Okay.
Something like that. I have to go and I think that was in the abstract on the paper site, the physical review.
Cool. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. And again, based on some pretty simple observations that are just so happen to be extremely accurate and also extremely precise, right? So they're getting the right answer, and they're getting the right answer consistently. So their accuracy and precision is really great. So
Mirko Roberto, welcome.
hey. Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you there. Yuriko. Cool. What did you miss? Oh, I'm constantly restarting this every moment, right? Is like just a brand new thing. So didn't miss a thing. All right, well, cool. So yeah, interesting paper, and yeah, the first thing I do when I run up against that ridiculous brick wall in trying to find the actual paper, right? Instead of having to pay some publishing house uh, just any amount, right? I mean, a penny is too much. Um, it's ridiculous. These, I guess it's a little known fact, but I'm trying, to get this kind of information out that um, there's a major expense when it comes to publishing papers. Most journals, and I don't know what the rates are now, but at least when I was doing it um, back in the 90s, early 2000s, um, you know, some journals wanted $2, $3, $4, $500 per page. So the astronomers are paying these publication uh, houses, and then you know these same places um, are trying to charge us for these things. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, most of the scientific research is publicly funded, so technically, all of that work, all that data, all of that is ours.
Well, like I said, thank God that you was able to find that on archive.org. Otherwise, we would definitely be paying $65 a year.
Well, so anyway, that is sort of the first place that I go, right? I mean, what I do is I just copy a portion of the title, and then I go over to
Yes,
archive.
I think that is robbery. I think this is fraud. A Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, it's a total ripoff. Um, and so I just grab the title, like a portion of the title, go over to archive.org, search for that, string as a title, and 80% of the time, it's there, right? There are other ways to get these papers too, so you'll have to investigate that a little bit all by yourself. But there are many ways of accessing these papers, the PDF files. So if archive doesn't do you any good, you might want to poke around a little bit and see if you can find other means. As I said, I can be pretty stubborn when it comes to trying to find things, and that's what is required when it comes to research. Right? You have to stick to it. Can't give up. It's like I want or need this particular thing, and so I'm going to try. Even if it takes years, I'm going to try to get it. And so there are ways. There are definitely ways of getting all these papers. Even but yeah, definitely. Go to archive first and see if it's there. And like I said, 80% of the time, um, uh, it's there. It's there. So cheers. Yeah, cheers to archive.org. They're doing a great service to not only the world but the nerd community because that I think is at least one of the things that serious lifelong nerds just greatly appreciate. Right? Are these technical journals that just just blow our minds. So yeah, that is great fun. So cheers to archive.org. And yeah, Gaia is working now on data release 3, right? Collecting all that data, processing it. I'm not quite sure when data release 3 is supposed to come out, but there's data release 3, and then I think there's a data release 4, and then I think that's supposed to be the end of mission, but who knows, right? So I'm thinking the data release 3, we can go find out.
And maybe if you can point Tim Robinson the right direction in the chat.
Oh, okay. Tim,
It's not spelled like that.
I am completely. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, Tim, it's ARXIV. It's like a Greek chi. I'll type it out in the chat here. So it's like that. So yeah, they had to be cute, and that's cute, right? And if you think that's cute, I've got something that's even cuter than that, right? If you take that ARXIV and reverse it, so it's VIXRA.org. Check out Vixra or Vicra.org. That's sort of a it's not exactly an alternative to archive, but it is a place where maybe a little more far out papers are published. So yeah. So check out both of those for sure. And yeah. So I thought that was really, really cute that they just reversed the letters, and yeah, came up with a completely different thing. So what I was going to do was I was going to look and see when Gaia is going to do their next data release. I wonder. I've got the Gaia archive here. Let's see. Here, I'll take you with me here. Share the screen. Go to infinity. So let's see here. Gaia mission. Let's see if there's anything about data release 3. I saw something about it, so just hang with me. This is what we sort of do here on Astronomy Daily Live, is just sort of mosey on through interesting info. Let's see, Gaia mission, Gaia data, upcoming events, the Gaia universe. There's data release 2. Gaia data. There's data release, data access. Follow up on Gaia. Oh, I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing anything past data release 2.
Take care, Tim.
Tim, are you out of here? Just popping in? Cool. All right. Well, thanks for coming in, Tim. Always great to see you in the chat. It's it's a crazy time over there right now. So yeah, get some rest and come on in anytime you want. Cool. Let's see. Data access. Access the Gaia data. FAQ on Gaia data access. Let's see if it. Upcoming upgrades to the Gaia archive. Current and previous releases. This is not. Yeah, this is not.
Maybe if you could try doing just a simple Google search, maybe you might be able to find something about it.
You think the simple thing is the thing to do? Gaia. Gaia data release scenario. Let's see what this says. Okay, so third release is, they're saying now, likely in the first half of 2021.
Whew.
So a few more years, couple more years. So yeah, you know, they're just collecting the data now, right? They have to make all of these observations, right? They have to collect the raw data, they have to process it, and but yeah, they're going to well, have a lot more stuff. I'm sure that there are going to be a lot more stars, a lot more proper motions, a lot more radial velocities, just a lot more of everything, right? So very cool. Okay, so the first half of 2021, we'll have to keep our eyes open for that. That'll be a big deal. I mean, data release 2 is just, I mean, if you go through archive.org, right, it seems like every other paper is referencing Gaia. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, it's
So with each of these data releases, they're collecting more and more information, right?
yeah, you know, they're combining it with what they already have, right? So data release 2 built on data release 1, right? And data release 3 and data release 4, which they don't have a date for yet, will build on data release 3. So yeah, at the end of this, right, we're gonna just be going insane. But yeah, you know, if you sort of look here, right, this took year and a half or so. If this goes, this will take 3 years, right? So how long is this one going to take? I don't know. I mean, this doubled. Is this going to double too? So maybe it'll take 6 years. I'm not exactly sure about that. But yeah, very cool. Very cool. And yeah, you know, to be able to study the breakup of these dwarf galaxies is just amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing. All right, well, cool. Let's see.
Maybe, I'm not sure if Eureka Roberto is on Discord, but maybe you can, like, somebody give him a link to the Discord server.
Yeah,
or not.
I can do that.
If not,
But I believe that Eureka is. Pretty sure he is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an invitation right now. And let's make it for let's make it for
that, but he's using a new computer, So maybe if you can direct him on the YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in the chat. So this here's an invite that should last about an hour or so. Okie dokie. Let's see, what else do we have here? Yeah, you know, the amount of data that is starting to come down and is, you know, going to be made available is just it's going to be dizzying, right? So, yeah, absolutely amazing. And yeah, we've just sort of, you know, begun with that. Kepler, not so much. TESS is going to pump the data through for sure. And when
we're going to be expecting releases of any test data, I mean, I think I've been asking that for quite some time.
I think it's available now. I haven't been able to locate it, but I think you know, you go through sort of the regular channels through that system that's called MAST, MAST, and I think I'm pretty sure the test data is available, but I haven't. I think I've tried to find it a couple times and I haven't yet. So yeah, I should probably get on that again, because yeah, I think the first data set is definitely out, and they are collecting, I think, on the second or third data set now, I think. So, you know, there's not a lot of data there yet, but it's still it's a huge amount, absolutely huge.
So it looks like you got two top priority homeworks: find out about the Kepler data and then find out about the test data.
Yeah. Wow, always something to do. Always. All right, well, cool. I'm going to say
and
cheers.
As Yoda says, do it. There's no try.
Nope. Can't try. Except in rugby. In rugby, everything's a try. It's all they do. In fact, that's what they want to do, is try. That drives me crazy.
Yeah, I think at some of the British channels, at least you can get some rugby, get some snooker. You might get some Olympic-oriented sports as well.
Yeah, well, and I think I've talked about this a couple of times. You know, I'm not really a sports fan of any sort, but I do thoroughly enjoy watching rugby, all forms of rugby. It's completely baffling to me, though. I cannot, you know, I mean, usually, you know, if you sort of watch a thing for a while, you sort of get the idea, you know, what the rules are and all that, right? I mean, it might take a little bit of time, but yeah, with rugby, I've tried to understand that sport, and I can't. I just can't do it. There doesn't seem to be any logic at all. But I know.
You still watch it.
Well, yeah, it's
rugby, soccer is pretty darn fun.
Yeah. You know,
it's like basketball and baseball. Football,
yeah.
I think it's becoming more of just a scam than having the real deal.
Yeah, I just, you know, I've never really liked these, you know, play for 20 seconds and then pause for 3 minutes, and then, you know, play for 20 seconds and pause for 3 minutes. That just, yeah, with rugby and soccer, yeah, it's constant, right? You know, the clock really never stops. They're you know, continuously going, and yeah. So anyway, I don't know how we got off on that, but I guess what I wanted to do, I saw it was just a It was a
Now,
tweet.
you was supposed to direct Iruko for that archive link and stuff and put it on the YouTube.
Oh,
I would think.
mm, well, for Discord, I think archive that was that was for Tim, and I did that too. I've got it. I've got it covered. I can't believe it.
Yeah, so Iruko, if you can get the Discord working again, that would be great. Okay, never mind. He's got it.
Cool. Excellent. So yeah, I saw a tweet about. Well, here I'll just share it here. We can sort of
And
run
I
through
cannot
this.
believe I only knew about Stan Lee died, but
Yeah,
the other dude.
yeah. I really wasn't that much of a comic book fan, but yeah, I guess he was like the dude, right? So yeah, yeah. Well, there will be others. I mean, not exactly like him, of course, but there's a lot of amazing artists out there, just amazing, extremely creative. So no worries, won't be the same, but it'll still be great. All right, let's see. I'm gonna hide that. And what it was just this. Uh, it was on this site called meteorwatch.org, and it's just it's a pretty good article about beginners telescopes. And so yeah, I just wanted to sort of run through this. We haven't really talked about telescopes in a little while, so it's like, oh, we need to talk about some scopes. So the one thing that I did really like is the author, I guess author is talking about these go-to or computerized telescopes, and they're actually suggesting that newcomers sort of steer away from those, not only because they're expensive, at least a little bit more expensive than some
I
other.
remember when Walmart did have telescopes.
Walmart does?
Walmart did had.
Oh, it did? Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't get into there very often, so I don't think I've ever really even looked. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I just sort of like this idea that you know uh, for your first telescope, don't really go for any of the computerized or go-to things. Get one that you have to basically move manually. Um, that
And
doesn't.
that's why I had a Mead. I forgot it was a Mead, but I forgot what the model and stuff. That's all they are.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's what I've said for the longest time is that go-to telescopes are nice, but you have to know how to set them up, and that isn't. I mean, it's easy if you know what you're doing, but I I can imagine that it's probably pretty difficult
Now,
if.
for a beginner, you just get yourself a telescope. You don't need like any cameras or something yet, huh?
No, no, I mean, really, for the beginner, you should get a nice pair of binoculars. 10 by 50s is that will either make you more hungry for more, or it'll be a thing where it's like, okay, that's kind of interesting, but oh well, right? So getting a good pair of binoculars, that is a great start. And in fact, I think they mentioned that in here too. Get some binoculars. Um, but as far as the first telescope goes, um, it's kind of interesting. They're sort of steering people towards um, some kind of Dobsonian Alta-Az reflectors, because you get a pretty decent size for a really decent price, right?
Maybe verify your record Roberto telescopes are too expensive, bring the night sky for not being more interesting to look at, but maybe more boring. Night skies are a side effect of living in a stable and habitable region of the universe.
Night sky for not being for not being more interesting to look at. Yeah. Well,
Something, if I still have my Meade telescope, and let's say if I go to Chico and Bill Black, I would definitely be looking at the night sky. We did some stargazing one time at Chico as part of the science camp.
cool, nice. Yeah, Eureka, we as far as sort of our place in the galaxy, you're sort of exactly right. I mean, we're not really next door to anything incredibly significant, right? I mean, we're what, at least 1,000 or two light years away from like the Orion Nebula. Um, so yeah, everything is really far away. All the interesting things seem to be, pretty out there. So, but yeah, that's how it goes. But it helps, right, to have a larger telescope, like an 8-inch or 10-inch or 12-inch that is, relatively easy to move around, doesn't weigh much, and is pretty inexpensive. And those kinds of telescopes are everywhere now, everywhere. So yeah, I was looking at a couple of these, and yeah, I think these are great. These are absolutely fantastic.
I would definitely try SLU in January if I can get the money.
Cool. Yeah, but see, I mean, this is really, really. I mean, it's not even really small, right? This is, I guess it's probably 130 millimeters, so 13 centimeters. I'm going to pull out my handy dandy calculator here. Divide by 2.54.
Now, this is the United Kingdom version of Amazon. So
I
I
see.
was wondering, you might be able to see if they got it in the USA version.
I'm sure that they probably do. Yeah, I just noticed that too. That it is the Amazon. Oh well. But yeah, this is like a 5-inch telescope, and that is a more than adequate size for anything that anybody wants to start off in, and it's really inexpensive, right? I mean, that's not bad. I'm not quite sure how that converts to American dollars, but it's really not all that bad.
Do a simple Google search for that money in GBP to USD. No, you got to do a
Okay.
Google search.
All I really probably have to do is just do this.
No, you just do the price.
This. Bet you it'll be there. I did not match any. Ah, okay. Well, that's kind of interesting, eh?
I'll just show
Yeah,
you like how it is you get it in USD. See, I think 155
yeah, but it looks regardless.
GBP to USD, and if it's
But actually, regardless
okay,
of
oh, it's almost 200 USD.
okay, regardless of the price, it looks like that telescope is only available in the UK. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so it's the Tesco something I was looking at one time.
Yeah. And this one's neat because it sort of folds up on itself. This part, I guess, yeah, looks like it just sort of collapses down. Here, we'll go back over here because I like to zoom in picture here.
Iruko, are you like from the United Kingdom or something? Since you mentioned about Scotland or something.
Yeah, so these rods here, you see that? They slide all the way down, and so secondary actually goes into the tube when you pack it up. That's kind of nice. Pretty nice. So yeah, and like I said, 5 inches. Oh, that's more than enough. More than enough. Here's even a smaller one, right? It's like a 3-inch. That's probably not. I mean, okay, for what? $60 or something like that. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it at that size. But then we get into the larger Dobbs. Yeah, so these are both 10-inch. I guess these are both 10-inch mirrors. So that's a great size. It's a great beginner size, and I wonder if these are going to be. Yeah, these are going to be Amazon UK also. Huh? Interesting. I don't know if these are
10
available.
miles for Ottawa.
What's that?
10 miles away from home to go to a pretty dark sky with minimum light pollution, Ottawa.
Yeah, that's not bad. Most.
10 minutes is really not that bad at all.
Yeah, I think the average drive to a dark site is like half an hour or so. So that's not too bad.
And Enrico, how far from London? If I know I asked a question for Iruko, how far are you from London?
How far from London is Eureka? Let's see. So, yeah. So again, real simple. I've actually used these telescopes, and yeah, they're, I mean, they're almost all plastic. So they're not exactly what I would call the most solid feeling telescopes, but they're not bad, right? So this whole thing here rotates, right?
Liverpool. Eureka's from Liverpool.
Oh.
Hey, I hope you've been telling John McCartney hi.
And then, of course, this axis also tilts. So we have...
I think it's Paul McCartney and stuff.
Paul McCartney.
It's one of the Beatles.
Yeah. So, nice. And, yeah, this is what's called a Newtonian focus. So, let's see if I can get a bigger picture here, even if it's
And let me tell you something. You got a problem if you hate the Beatles or any of like the old, like the Rolling Stones, the Temptations, and all that.
that's right. We will have no one who dislikes the Beatles on this live stream. That is just not allowed. So this is kind of cool. It looks like this whole thing sort of slides down too.
We was asking, we was telling you, Rico, that about telling Paul McCartney hi, or John Lennon or something. I don't know what all the Beatles are and stuff, but I know it's like Paul McCartney and stuff.
Can't really say hi to John Lennon anymore.
Nope, not anymore. But you know, Richard Starkey.
The Beatles are really, really awesome.
Yeah. Richard Starkey is still around. Do you know who that is?
Richard Starkey, no.
Richard Starkey? You know that name, Tom?
No, I don't. Don't know who that is.
That's Ringo's name.
Oh, that was his original name? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a little bit of trivia. If you've ever seen the movie The Postman with Kevin Costner, you know, he's a fake, right? And so you know, people think he's a postman, so you know they think they have all this information, right? And so they asked him, you know, who is the president? And the only name he could come up with was Richard Starkey. So yeah, just a bit of trivia there. So yeah, when he mentions Richard Starkey, he's actually talking about Ringo. Of course, also in that movie is Tom Petty, right? Tom Petty's in that movie too. So
I cannot believe this is a fun fact. A friend of Enrico Roberto's lives in or used to the house where John Lennon was born in.
oh, cool. Cool. Nice. All right. Well, anyway, so, you know, these telescopes are really, really great because they're so simple, right? You've got a big mirror here in the back, and I really can't do that. Okay, so big mirror here in the back. So in this case, it's like a 10-inch mirror, right? Which is a concave mirror, right? So it actually reflects the light, right? The light comes in this way, goes to this primary mirror here, which is concave. That bends and reflects the light up to this mirror here, which is a flat mirror set at a 45-degree angle. And that reflects the light into the eyepiece here. And that's where you actually look. So that's called a Newtonian focus.
Okay,
And
so Enrico Roberto, once you get through, he wants you to look at a Celestron Esporoscope 70 Alpha Sulu telescope.
okay, I can do that. Let's see. Oh, are those little refractors? I think I've seen those. So yeah, these are really, really great. And you know what? It's probably going to cost you like $1,200 or so. So, but that's for a 10-inch scope, right? It's all manual, right? All of it's manual. But for a beginner, that's exactly what you want. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah, but $1,200 United States dollars, you can keep that.
Well, for the size, that's a good deal. It's a really, really good deal, right? I mean, you know, for my motorized, computerized 8-inch, I think I dropped 1,500 for it. I think. So yeah, you know, um, for the size and the ease and everything, it's a good deal. It's a really good deal. All right, let's see here. So yeah, I just really, really like the fact that they're sort of directing beginners to, you know, learn the sky. You know, don't necessarily rely on, you know, the technology to, you know, just so you can look at things, because that's not where a lot of the fun is. You know, that's sort of the goal, but you know, the journey.
Now, this website you're at, is he based in the UK or where he's at, or where the website's from?
Not quite sure. Not quite sure what that means.
No, I was
Yeah.
asking about the website that you're on.
Oh, this one? I'm not sure. You know, meteorwatch.org. Not
Yeah.
sure. It probably, since all these seem to be links to Amazon in the UK, it's probably safe to assume that this is a UK site. So yeah. So let's see.
Talking about some expensive toys.
Yeah, well, you know, they can be. But for beginners, you know, you don't want to spend a lot, right? That's my whole thing. Is that, you know, you don't
Just
want
like
to.
in shortwave, you actually don't have to spend a lot as well.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
shortwave radio receiver.
Absolutely. It's very true. So
You
yeah,
know, oh, also the one time on Jill's shortwave channel, some people was asking if you had to be white and rich. I don't think it's by the race and how much money you got. As long as you got the money, just get it.
I totally agree. That's what money's for, is to spend it. So let's spend it all. All right, well, cool. So Mead has a similar thing. It's also an altitude and azimuth Dobsonian with a Newtonian focus. So these go all the way up to 16 inches. So yeah, I just thought that was a pretty good article, directing folks towards more of the manual thing, where, you know, you have to learn how to star hop. You know, you have to learn how to use charts, how to you know, navigate throughout the sky. You know, you have to be able to identify constellations or star patterns. The individual stars, you have to be able to relate what you're seeing in the sky with what you're seeing on the chart, and that can be hard to learn. But you know, if you stick with it, I would say practically everybody can do that. So it's you just got to be a little stubborn and no problem at all. But yeah, I think these examples are really, really great. Really, really great. You know, they start with sort of a simple one that is relatively cheap. Simple isn't the right term. I should say small. You know, this can go on a table, right? It doesn't even have to go on the ground. In fact, it shouldn't, right? I mean, it's pretty small. So cool. All right. Well, I think that is about it for today. just catching up on the chat here. Look, I'll stop sharing. Check the chat really quick. I've tried several configurations. Need some help, indeed. Okay.
And before you go, I want to talk about also is how you really enjoying your PL880, your Texan radio.
Yeah, let us know. Got a big.
Or let us know on the Discord, one or two.
Yeah, Eureka. I sort of agree with Uncle Bill there. Check your magnification. Make sure that you're using a relatively large eyepiece, right? If it's like a 4 millimeter or a 10, that's probably too small, and you're getting way too much magnification. Look for like a 25 millimeter, maybe even a 40. Yeah, Eureka, stick with it. That is part of the game. Is that to get into astronomy, you really need to be pretty stubborn. You can't give up because it's hard, right? I mean, every level of this science is really hard. So getting into it, it's a major effort, and then every new thing is a big deal. So be patient with yourself, take your time, have fun, right? That is the most important thing. If you're not having fun, either just quit or give it a rest. If you should be doing it, you will be. So be patient and keep trying and mess around with things and ask questions. This is a good place. CloudyNights.com is an excellent place. So all right, well, cool. Like I said, I think I'm going to get out of here for today. I'm noticing that it's just a couple minutes after 3 hours UTC. So yeah, I think I'm going to get out of here for today. So thanks everybody for coming in. It's always great to take a little bit of time and just share a passion and just sort of go wherever we go. Because the science of astronomy is this very broad and very deep thing. So there's lots of room to move around in, and it's so easy doing a daily thing because there's always so much to talk about. My problem is what one or two things out of the hundreds that are possible, or thousands that are possible. What are those one or two things that I'd like to sort of talk about today? And those things aren't as important as any kind of topics, any kind of questions or discussions or anything. This is the place to do it for sure. Love doing that. Absolutely. All right. For now, I'm gonna cut it off. I'm being summoned, so I'm gonna get out of here for now. So take care, everybody. I will see you about 20 million kilometers that away, or so, in a little less than 23 hours. All right. Take care, everybody. I will see you later. Bye.
There.